Hello, Big Brother fans. This is a review of episode 9 of Big Brother 14. We open the episode with the ending of the nominations, and Joe comes in and says that he's on the block because Janelle is my coach. And I didn't understand that at all. I mean, he wasn't given that, well, unless, we had clever editing once again. But I didn't understand that because basically all Shane said when he nominated him was that I want you as a coach to feel how it feels to have both of your people, on the same at the same time, and to the others that I want you guys to feel how it feels to be put up against one another. Nowhere in there did I hear anything about he was being put up because Janelle was his coach. So that one caught me totally off guard. So I'm gonna write that one off to editing. Let's see. Brittany says that right now she's not buying what Janelle is selling. That she, was kind of mocking Janelle as, like, oh, I understand. I totally understand why you put my two people up. I'm not mad at you. And I don't know if she's ever watched before, but Janelle really kind of doesn't get overly involved. And in fact, there was a conversation in the house about the fact that Janelle never really shows any emotion. And they asked her if she cried when she had her daughter Violet, and the answer was no. I mean, it was like, it's not that she's unfeeling, it's just that she's not very demonstrative, and I guess she just doesn't, it's like, whatever, you know what I mean? It's like, it's not going to kill her if she doesn't win this coach's competition. I'm sure she's thinking it would be very nice, but it's not going to stop her life from, continuing on as it was once before. Maybe with Brittany it will, it's like, I don't know. Brittany, I think in the house today said something about how the last time she was on, she was all about the shit talk, but now it's all about, game talk. And while that might be true, she does do her fair share of shit talk in the diary room. So I don't know that she's changed overly much. Joe is all show no go. I'm like I said, I'm just over the screaming and his screaming, Shane, I'm gonna win this veto and then I'm coming after you. Oh well, we watched the POV and we see how well that plan went. Let's see. They drew names for the POV. Shane drew Danielle. He was very happy with that choice because he knows that he can pretty much twist her around his finger. Ashley got house guest choice and she chose Will. And then Joe pulled Frank, the one person he did not want to be in the game, with the chance to win the POV. Janelle was very happy because all three of her people were playing, and she thought that the chances were a little bit higher with all three of her people playing to at least one of them. Oh, baby girl. It's okay. My cat. Yeah, I think you did. My cat just went crazy. Come here, babe. Okay, she'll recover. Anyways, the game was fairly simple. All you had to do was keep two balls rolling at the same time on two separate ramps. They were probably, maybe 5 or 6 feet, maybe 8 at the most, which I doubt, feet apart from one another. And immediately when Shane said what his strategy was to not roll the other ball until the other ball on the other ramp was at the top of the ramp. Super smart because it really worked with the timing and such. Of course, once I heard that, I knew that he would win, and he did indeed. Oh, sweetheart, you got a fat tail. Hi, babe. Puffy tail. And so Shane won his third POV in a row. Janny said, everyone in my team is devastated, but I'm not worried at all. Now it's time for me to go to work. And she, she really prides herself on being able to do this and, work her wiles and try to get her team off of the block. Last week she ended, or the last episode, she ended with herself saying that she was going to get both of her people off the block. And so her selling point when she went up into the HOH to talk to to Shane and Brittany was, not to take anything away from my players, but they can't win anything. Frank is a threat, and I don't want your HOH to be a waste. All very good points. Extremely good points. And I'm sure that, her working her wiles had 95% of the decision on how the POV ceremony went. But we'll get that to that later. She did something she says, I'm going to do something that's going to sound really insane, but I'm going to offer up my wedding ring and my Chanel earrings as collateral for my team's cooperation for the next 3 weeks that you won't be put up. And she said something, Boogie is probably downstairs scheming, but they cut to, them downstairs, and they were having the most ridiculous conversation about exercise in the back room. Brittany talked to Ian and, about if, Shane were going to be put up next week. And he says, I don't see that in the foreseeable future. And her questioning was if he became HOH. Not if their team became HOH, but if he became the HOH, would he put up Shane? And she said, and his answers continued to be, I don't see that in the foreseeable future. And she didn't like that. She was just like, I want to hear, no, Brittany, I will not put him up on the block. And he wouldn't say that. But then when we find out later when Shane goes to talk to Frank, is that he hasn't been told what to do yet. And so that was pretty much his way of keeping himself safe, I guess. Or, it basically showed that he didn't know what was going on, pretty much, in a nutshell. However, when I said, that Janelle's, talking to get her team off of the block was about 95%, I think maybe that was giving her just a little bit more percentage than deserving, probably 70%, because this Ian thing, it just started getting them talking really whatever. They became very paranoid, and they started wondering, what if they are gonna backstab us or whatever. And I think that that's how what actually really turned the POV around, I think. I did notice that Joe at one point totally stopped screaming in this episode, and I realized that it was at the point when he started getting real, not when he was trying to give a soundbite or be funny or whatever. So this, this screaming kind of overbearing kind of, thing that's totally turning me off is probably more just this persona that he wants to put forth while in the Big Brother household, because he became really down to earth and really, real. When Shane asked him if he'd take out his own team, he said, absolutely, no more team playing for me. I'm playing individually. Now, he's not the first person that has said that in the game. So it will be interesting to see what's going to happen after tomorrow. What else do we have here? During the talk, let's see. Frank and Shane were talking. That made Brittany kind of nervous to have them talking amongst themselves. But basically, he was saying that Frank was saying that Ian is just very socially awkward, and he's being told what to do in this entire game. And Frank says that he's going to screw up my game, and I was thinking, yeah, he's probably going to float to the end and win this game. They really, really need to consider after this week, if Boogie's team doesn't win this week, they really need to consider taking out Ian, and they need to stop focusing on, you know, Shanes and the Franks of this game. You know, the Shanes and the Franks and the Joes of this game. You got to start going after the Ashleys and the Jens and the Ians in this game. Or once again, we're going to get a floater that's going to win this game. It just happens all the time. People just continue to focus on the strongest person in the game. So we cut to the POV competition, and Ashley, you know, just kind of was like, use it on me, you know, and Joe was like, oh yeah, all the great presidents and they get the right to the veto, and all the really good ones use it, so be a good president and use it. And he did, but he used it on Ashley. Sorry, Joe. The replacement nominee was Frank. Shane's reasoning was, I've been playing alone this week. I'm in a horrible situation. I have to do what is best for me, so I nominate Frank. And he ends with saying that hopefully I can convince Frank that he isn't the target, but he is. And it's interesting because he has been pretty much, I think, in the home playing it up that, you know, everyone is that Joe is going to be going home. But I did see where today he said, you say preach, I say peace, in the going away video that they do for the people who are evicted from the home. Janelle claims that she's the newest puppet master. Is she? Give me your thoughts on that, you know, because like I said, you know, while she does work her magic, and if Frank leaves, really, truly, her prediction of bringing both of her people off of the block and saving both of her people is true. Maybe she is a better puppet master than I think, but do you think that it's just the situation that, you know, Ian was the one that blew it for his team? Let me know below, and who do you think is going to be evicted tomorrow? You know, because really Shane can be playing it up and, you know, telling his people, you know, that, or, you know, his people is basically Brittany, that, you know, that he's going around trying to get Frank out, but is he really, is Joe really going to go? Is he just making Joe comfy for the blow to happen? It'll be interesting to see. I can't wait till tomorrow. They have been talking, you might want to leave if you don't like spoilers. They have been talking in the house something about an endurance competition. They're talking about something about hanging in there. So they might have either seen something, or they've been given, you know, like the game to practice ahead of time, and so they're worried that Ian is going to be able to hang for 24 hours. So whatever it is, they're thinking that it is being rigged so that Ian wins, and or at least that's, you know, just the little that I've been able to gather from reading the forums. And I know that they're still very paranoid about the coaches coming into the game, and the scenarios that they're throwing around is just incredible. So anyway, we'll see you guys tomorrow night. Bye.